Tyler, the creator. This guy taught himself piano at 14 because school rejected him from band class for not reading music. In 8th grade, he got kicked out of drama for being too hyperactive, which checks out. When he was 7, he'd make fake album covers with full track lists, just for fun. Before blowing up, he worked at FedEx for less than 2 weeks, then stuck it out at Starbucks for over 2 years. And yes, he joked about stealing cheese danishes and hating his boss Cindy. He co-founded Odd Future, but didn't just rap. He directed, produced, acted, and made sketches too. He's the only one in the group with a mugshot after a vandalism arrest at the Roxy. Then there's the Yonkers video. He ate a live cockroach and threw up on camera. In IFH, why? He played a plastic doll run over by himself. He's got asthma, uses an inhaler on stage, but doesn't drink, smoke, or do drugs. His aliases: Try Wolf Haley, Bunny Hop, Ace, and more. He created Golf Wang and the Camp Flog Gnaw Festival. The guy's an inventor. Yay. He once said, "I am a god" on live television in 2013, then named a whole song that on his Yeezus album. In 2021, he literally lived inside Atlanta's stadium to finish an album, pacing silently in a red outfit while fans watched him sleep in a bare room. In 2009, he interrupted Taylor Swift at the VMAs to say Beyoncé should have won, igniting a media circus that lasted a decade. For Yeezy Season 4, his fashion show had models fainting from heat, struggling to walk in heels, and the whole thing started over an hour late. Then there's the famous video where he laid in bed beside naked wax figures of Taylor Swift, Donald Trump, George Bush, and others. In 2018, he told TMZ that slavery was a choice, which caused chaos. He legally changed his name to Ye for spiritual reasons, dropped his first name entirely, and started a gospel choir called Sunday Service, usually held in remote spots with no cameras allowed. He ran for president in 2020, held a rally where he cried, and still got about 60,000 votes. Oh, and he posted a photo of himself peeing on a Grammy. MF Doom. He was born in London in 1971, moved to New York as a baby, stayed a British citizen, and got denied re-entry to the United States in 2010, so he was stuck in the UK. After his brother DJ Subrock died in 1993, KMD's second album got shelved, and he disappeared, walking Manhattan streets homeless for years. He created MF Doom by rapping with tights on his head, then upgraded to a metal mask inspired by Dr. Doom and Gladiator. His aliases: King Ghidorah, Victor Vaughn, Metal Fingers, Zev Love X, like a rap multiverse. He even sent masked imposters to shows, insisting the character mattered more than who played him. His Special Herbs beats stand completely on their own. Rhymes Like Dimes was recorded in his bedroom, with DJ Cucumber Slice rambling at the end. In Mad Villainy, he demanded his name be spelled in all caps. He died on October 31st, 2020, but fans only found out 3 months later. His work with Adult Swim, canceled halfway, left fans guessing. He never became a US citizen, and that shaped everything. By the way, if you guys want to subscribe, I'm going to be posting every day. Thanks. Anyways, Young Thug. He wore a lavender dress on the Jeffrey cover in 2016 and said it wasn't feminine or masculine. It was just free. Each song on that mixtape named after people he admired, like Harambe and Floyd Mayweather, even though the lyrics had zero to do with them. He once said, "I'm not gay, but I'm the mother of my house," referencing Atlanta's street culture in a way that left everyone scratching their heads. He idolized Lil Wayne, but still tried to call his mixtape Carter 6, only backing off after legal pressure and renaming it Barter 6, which somehow managed to be both a tribute and a challenge. Then there's that Calvin Klein shoot, where he wore a white wedding dress next to a goat and said he broke the rules of fashion. His songs? Sometimes just baby talk, hums and gibberish. He announced in 2018 that his new name was Sex, though barely anyone used it. He recorded vocals in closets, hallways, even bathrooms, chasing weird acoustics. And he doesn't really listen to rap. He prefers Elton John, Prince, and country. Oh, and his 11-bedroom mansion? It has secret rooms and what he called a kidnapping basement. Playboy Cardi. Nobody's really sure if he was born in 1995 or 96, which means he might already be 29. Before he was Carti, he went by Sir Cartier and even uploaded tracks to Newground, the cartoon website. During his early rise, he actually stayed with a drug dealer in New York City. He once fired a gun into the air at an airport after his girlfriend hid his phone, which went about as well as you'd expect. He's proud of being a thrift store kid and built his fashion identity from vintage shops, getting clowned for it as a teen, but now he's rocking Raf Simons and Balmain in music videos. His album, Music, dropped with 30 tracks and sparked AI rumors, which he denied. It still racked up nearly 140 million Spotify streams in one day. Critics say he's making void rap now, mostly freestyling with noises like SEAU. He runs the Opium label with a wild roster of rage rappers. He's been arrested for drug and gun charges, reckless driving, and even a felony assault. Live shows, pure chaos. His style keeps shifting, baby voice to demon rasp, and he never stops blurring who he actually is. Ski Mask the Slump God. He raps like a cartoon fever dream, bouncing between SpongeBob impressions, anime shoutouts, and Looney Tunes delivery, all in one verse. His 2016 mixtape Drown in Designer was about being buried in luxury and horrorcore vibes, combining high fashion with creepy energy. He'll switch voices mid-bar, going from growls to squeals to mumbles without stopping the track. His lyrics, full of wild pop culture. Timmy Turner, Aku from Samurai Jack, Jimmy Neutron, even Courage the Cowardly Dog. He once said Missy Elliott was his biggest influence growing up, which actually makes perfect sense when you hear him. He used to wear a medical mask to hide dental issues, then kept it, just because it helped him stay in character. His songs, Catch Me Outside and Baby Wipe, go off the rails on purpose, spitting about bacteria, cartoon villains, and chaos, like it's a language only he speaks. He once called himself a lyrical demon with a comedy problem, mixing horrorcore aesthetics with gross-out jokes, and still swearing he's not horror rap. When a label asked him to slow down, he said fine. He'd just start rapping in dolphin sounds instead. Andre 3000. Born in 1975, he's gone by aliases like Johnny Vulture, Black Wolf, and even Dookie Blossom Game the Third. He was a hardcore vegan for 15 years but quit, saying it turned him mean in social situations. His clothing brand, Benjamin Bixby, tanked financially, even though it was inspired by vintage college football. He painted some Outkast album art himself, and as a kid, he smashed a Prince record because the B-side scared him. He refused the Super Bowl in 2004 unless Outkast could perform full tracks. Diagnosed with social anxiety and hypersensitivity disorder, he said it shaped his public life. When he recorded Do Ya Thing with Gorillaz, he ran around the studio yelling into the mic, sweating like crazy just to get the vibe. His solo album, New Blue Sun, is just flute. One track runs 12 minutes and 20 seconds, the longest ever on the Billboard Hot 100. He hid during his 30th birthday and taught himself guitar, flute, saxophone, and more. He's acted in movies, voiced a crow, and produced Class of 3000. He once said, "Big Boy raps better than him." Being himself, he said, makes him feel like an alien. Ugly God. He went viral in high school with a song called I Beat My Meat on SoundCloud until his parents in school made him take it down. He originally rapped under the name Pussy Bacon before switching to Ugly God, saying he was ugly but confident and wanted to disarm people with the name. He rapped constantly about reptiles, lizards, salamanders, geckos, and once bragged about eating one like a snack. In 2017, he dropped the Booty Tape, including a track where he insulted himself for a full song. He told Double XL he hacked school computers as a kid, changed grades, accessed files, and got suspended for being too good with tech. He embraced being a nerd rapper, preferring Pokemon and anime over parties. He said early beats were made by smacking watermelons for that wet, bouncy sound. He trolled SoundCloud culture with parody songs like Water that accidentally became hits. He even admitted to lurking Reddit threads about himself and leaking his own music just to test reactions. Eventually, he vanished from rap to study computer engineering, planning to build startups unless he could return rapping like Bill Gates. Lil B. He was born in Berkeley in 1989 and started rapping at 15 with the Pack before becoming Lil B the Bass God. He coined bass to mean bold, positive, and unapologetically individual. In 2013, he dropped 05 Fuck 'Em with 101 tracks, nearly 6 hours long. His 2010 album, Rain in England, had no beats, just ambient synths and him rapping like a monk over spa music. He put based God curses on NBA players like Kevin Durant, then lifted them with bizarre rituals. The Sixers even invited him to try out for their D-League team. By 2010, he'd uploaded over 170 freestyle clips to YouTube. He's lectured at NYU and MIT in neon outfits, talking about pet adoption, ant colonies, and self-awareness. He released 2 ambient albums in 2012, then dropped Africantus in 2022, full of clashing jazz sounds and panpipe chaos. He once posted a list of 147 things he looks like. His track list includes titles like I'm a Fag, I'm a Lesbian, next to motivational anthems. He made emoji apps, freestyles without thinking, and calls it letting the unconscious speak. Lil Uzi Vert. He implanted a pink diamond into his forehead, worth $24 million, and later said fans ripped it out during a crowd surf. In 2022, he quietly changed his pronouns to they and them, without any explanation, adding to the ambiguity that's always surrounded him. He's claimed Marilyn Manson is his biggest influence, not a rapper, and said he'd spend his last day alive at one of Manson's concerts. He's got Faith tattooed on his forehead and 666 on his tongue, fueling nonstop rumors about satanic ties. Rumors he's never confirmed or denied. His track New Patek crams in anime, luxury watches, and fashion in one offbeat tumble of sound. During a Hot 97 interview, he walked out mid-question when asked about Satan, later telling fans he didn't care about heaven or hell. When teasing Eternal, he used Heaven's Gate cult logos. Yes, the same cult tied to a mass suicide. He once arrived at Rolling Loud in full alien goth gear, red contacts, black lipstick, leather armor, and a spiked mohawk. He got expelled for rapping in class, then tattooed Faith on his face so he'd never work a regular job. B.O.B. Born in 1988 in North Carolina and raised in Georgia, he played trumpet in school before dropping out in 9th grade to chase music. Early on, he split his identity. B.O.B. did club bangers, while Bobby Ray handled introspective tracks. In 2016, he said the earth was flat, then beefed with Neil deGrasse Tyson about it. He even made a diss track called Flatline, where he took shots at Tyson and dropped conspiracy claims, including cloning and Holocaust denial. Then he launched a GoFundMe to send satellites up and find the curve. He wanted $1 million to prove the earth was flat. On Earth Day, he released Earth, a mixtape full of audio samples from scientists and presidents and topics like astral projection and cloning. He swears celebrity clones are real, possibly including himself. Despite huge early success, forums now call him one of the biggest failed rap projects. His tapes, Earth, Air, Water, Fire, and Ether, form a Mystical Elements series focused on cosmic energy. After leaving Atlantic Records in 2015, he went full no genre, saying the music industry tried to silence him, and he's been off the map ever since. Docat. She went viral in 2018 by rapping Bitch. I'm a cow in a homemade video while dressed in a cow costume. She made the beat herself and filled it with food pun. She used to live stream just eating pickles, whispering, or doing absolutely nothing, while thousands of people watched her troll them in real time. In 2023, she told fans she hated them, called her biggest supporters creepy, and demanded they delete their fan pages. When people asked why she shaved her head and eyebrows, she said she was bored, then drew on her face with Sharpie for fun. At the Met Gala, she showed up covered head to toe in red Swarovski crystals, including her eyelids, which took almost 5 hours to apply. At Paris Fashion Week, she wore fake lashes as mustaches and eyebrows and said she liked looking disgusting. Her album, Scarlet, she said she made it ugly on purpose and told fans it wasn't for them. She once joined racist tiny chat rooms, apologized when it resurfaced, and removed a 2015 song called Didn't Do Nothing. Her inspirations? Nickelodeon cartoons, Bacteria, and Meat. Busta Rhymes. Born in 1972, he got his stage name from Chuck D, named after football player Busta Rhymes. As a kid, he was sent to Morecambe, England, where he breakdanced under the name TJ and Paul, and once got caught stealing trainers, forced to clean shop floors as punishment. Raised as a Seventh-day Adventist, he carried that apocalyptic energy into albums like Extinction Level Event, filled with rapture warnings. His flow's so fast, it earned him a Guinness record for most syllables rapped in 1 second. Ironically, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Could See came from advice to tone things down. And the video, complete with tribal face paint and elephants, set the tone for his theatrical visuals. In 2019, he nearly died from 90% vocal cord blockage and sleep apnea, once passing out for 40 minutes. After gasping for breath during a naked panic moment with his ex, he overhauled everything, losing almost 100 pounds, adopting a bodybuilder diet, and using cryotherapy. He's got 12 Grammy nominations and 0 wins, converted to Islam at 12, caused controversy with Arab money, and even appeared on The Masked Singer as Dragon, eliminated instantly. One island unofficially tried naming itself after him, Madoc. At 12 years old, he dropped Overwhelming while spinning fidget toys, staring into the camera with silver hair and 0 emotion, then racked up millions of views before most kids his age finished middle school. He became a meme first, rapper second, rapping about iPhones and anxiety with the tone so flat it looped back to hypnotic. He said he hated school and only focused on energy and spirit, claiming Ye and meditation taught him to rap. At 13, he signed with Warner Brothers, before puberty, before touring, before his voice cracked. His videos, set in graveyards and dead malls, where he wandered in oversized hoodies, like a haunted middle school dropout. He lived with his mom, got managed by his uncle, and avoided parties or drugs until 15. He said his goal was to channel dark energy, but stay pure, somehow tying together anime, dreams, and vague mysticism. In early freestyles, he'd bark, growl, and whisper at random, like an audio glitch on purpose. He was friends with X before he blew up, crediting him for helping him find emotion in music. People thought his voice was edited until they saw him do it live. Lil Toenail. He's a masked rapper from West Palm Beach who refuses to take off his ski mask, reportedly not even during showers, to keep his identity hidden. His signature look, a custom Bigfoot costume covered in fake toes, French tips, knuckle hair, and Louis Vuitton panels. He started out on SoundCloud as Lil Toenail, became Lil Toe, and eventually transformed into Ammo, mixing trap metal with industrial noise. One of his early viral songs was Suck My Nuts, blending absurd humor with aggressive SoundCloud tropes. He's claimed he was born via immaculate conception, has no family, and that Lil B might be his dad. Despite rapping about hookups and guns, he's fully sober, never touched drugs or alcohol, and once pretended to smoke by sucking on French fries. His music is distorted chaos, moans, screams, and tracks barely hitting 3 minutes. He talks openly about crying, promotes vulnerability, and has no shame about claiming he has a micro penis. On hashtag Toe Truth Tuesdays, he gives motivational advice about passion and patience. In 2024, as Ammo, he dropped the mask in the video hard and shifted into post-punk. He's performed with Joji and ICP. In his self-produced debut, Hollow Point pushes the weird even further. Young Lean. At 16, he became the face of sad boy rap, mumbling about Gatorade, Pokemon, and Arizona iced tea over dreamy trap beats on Unknown Death, 2002. He was a Swedish teen, rapping in broken English about American pop culture. Half the slang he used he barely understood. He formed Sad Boys, a crew known for gas masks, Hello Kitty chains, and onstage visuals that looked like a Windows XP crash. In 2015, while living in Miami, he overdosed, got institutionalized, and claimed he saw angels and demons in an alternate realm. Later, he posed for Rolling Stone, holding a dead squid in a freezer aisle with the Supreme headband. His idea of sadness and clout in one photo. He accidentally launched the aesthetic rap movement, inspiring artists like Blady and Juice with surreal, glitchy delivery. His videos looked like Tumblr GIFs, lo-fi, VHS filters, XP clip art, some edited by fans using cracked software. He wrote verses about RuneScape, pills, and floating through space. He once said he wanted to be remembered as a surrealist poet, not a rapper. Frost God, dropped in 2016, was built from drug withdrawal hallucinations in a psych ward, Riff Raff. Born in 1982, he picked up names like Jody High Roller, Vanilla Gorilla, and Rap Game Bon Jovi, rebranding himself every time he blinked. He started out handing mixtapes to strangers in Houston malls, then went viral on MySpace and WorldStar with chaotic freestyles and low-budget sketches. Before he even appeared on MTV's From G's to Gents, he tattooed the MTV logo on his neck and started calling himself MTV Riff Raff. His punchlines, stuff like White Gucci Mane and Rap Game Uncle Ben, mixing pop culture and nonsense just for spectacle. His Vine sketches, 6 seconds of yelling in made-up voices, described as coprolalic improv. His debut album, Neon Icon, had country, rock, and trap all at once. He signed to Mad Decent, sued the Spring Breakers filmmakers, and still managed to build a fan base off total unpredictability. He was 1/3 of Three Loco with Andy Milonakis and Dirt Nasty, dubbed themselves the Holy Trinity of hip-hop, claimed endless collabs online, often with no proof. He's tatted as a freestyle scientist, lives in the Codeine Castle, and once flipped out high with 3 girls, according to the Boombox. He launched Branded Weed, got a Simpsons chess mural, and remained somewhere between parody and performance art. Danny Brown. He got turned down by G-Unit because he wore skinny jeans, despite already recording with Tony Yayo and getting a cosign from 50 Cent. He refused to ditch the look, and that was that. His delivery flips between a high-pitched cartoon squeal and a low deadpan, depending on how deranged or depressed the lyrics are. In 2013, he did a show in Minneapolis, where a fan gave him oral sex mid-set. He kept performing and called it punk rock as hell. He says his biggest influences are Nas, Joy Division, and Björk. That combo explains a lot. His breakout tape references turning 30, blending chaos with age dread. Before rap, he did stand-up comedy, and now his podcast features unfiltered drug tales and deep dives into conspiracy theories. His front teeth were gone for years, bike accident, and he kept the gap until fans pressured him into fixing it. He's written songs while tripping on mushrooms, chugging syrup, and amped on Adderall, often all at once. He went on The Eric Andre Show, got tased, and laughed through it. Atrocity Exhibition, Joy Division-inspired horror rap with broken jazz and existential panic. Techni, born in 1971, he took the name from a Techni, but later flipped it to mean technique and completion, equal parts weapon and craft. As a kid, he wandered through abandoned buildings in Kansas City looking for ghosts, a coping habit, while his mother battled lupus and epilepsy. His famous chopper flow mimics percussion. He calls syllables snare hits, not words. He built strange music in 1999 and stayed independent, skipping label games to tour nonstop. He's afraid of clowns, even though his early look involved horrorcore face paint and unsettling visuals. In one interview, he randomly did what fans now call the "I'm tired" dance, just twitching around mid-sentence. He created Caribou Lou based on a homemade rum recipe, then partnered with a brewery for a real version called Bo Lou. His logo combines a bat and the rod of Asclepius, darkness and healing. He never fixed his teeth, worried it'd ruin his rapid delivery. He dropped horror-themed tracks like Am I a Psycho? With lyrics about fetishes and slasher films. He's worked with metal icons like Serj Tankian and Corey Taylor, and once showed up in Jackass just because. His albums dive into trauma, religion, and the apocalypse. Darkness packaged with absolute precision. Young Bands. He dropped 5 EPs in 1 year, all called Young Bands, volumes 1 through 5, with nearly identical minimalist covers and no clear themes. The repetition, part of the brand. He started out as band boy, but switched names while on house arrest for a gun charge, recording early tracks from his bedroom with an ankle monitor strapped on. As a teenager stuck indoors during a legal case, he built his entire buzz online. His visuals mashed together anime, glitchy edits, and VHS haze, full of hentai flashes and deep-fried memes that look like YouTube fan tributes gone rogue. He helped shape early SoundCloud cult culture, dropping echo-heavy, crooned darkness next to names like X and Wi-Fi's Funeral, before the wave broke big in 2017. He said Volume 3 came to him in dreams. He'd sleep to beats, wake up with verses in his head, and hit record instantly. His tweets mentioned black holes, astral projection, and calling himself a music demon. Interviews, he rarely did them, saying, "You either get me or you don't." He barely toured, but fans still rallied around playlists and Discord threads. His debut album Misunderstood dropped with no major push, just him, hated, trapped, and feeling godlike. Zilla Kimi, he ghost wrote early tracks for 6ix9ine, like Yokai and Helsing Station, before their fallout over a photo scandal involving a minor. His solo debut, Life is a Horror Movie, was pulled shortly after release. He said it no longer matched his vision. With City Morgue, he mashed hardcore punk and trap metal into industrial chaos, screaming over live guitars and horror film energy. As a teen, he fronted a punk band called Scud Got Quail, citing Gorilla Biscuits as an early influence. He refuses to reveal his writing process and sticks to a small creative circle to keep the formula hidden. On stage, he's worn Osama bin Laden patches, Akira prints, and even swung a bazooka prop around for shock value. He's admitted to creeping people out on tour on purpose. He likes it. At Rolling Loud, he had diarrhea mid-set, changed outfits, and kept jumping anyway. He's a massive Slipknot fan, even covers their songs live. Despite industry success, he moved back into his mom's house just because he missed her. He once chipped a tooth eating a rock. His lyrics blend metal and nihilism, and Dogboy featured Denzel Curry, Lil Uzi Vert, and Corey Taylor. My Bloody America marked the end of City Morgue. He insisted on closure. ODB. He once cashed a $375 welfare check while riding in a limo, with MTV cameras filming the whole thing, kicking off national outrage about fraud and hip-hop excess. His names? Osiris, Big Baby Jesus, Dirt McGirt, Joe Bananas. He'd switch them mid-interview, saying they were all divine fragments of himself. At the 1998 Grammys, he stormed the stage in red leather to protest Wu-Tang's loss, declaring Wu-Tang is for the children on live TV. He got arrested for shoplifting $50 sneakers while carrying $500 in his pocket. His explanation didn't feel like paying. In 2000, he escaped court-ordered rehab, went on the run, then popped up performing live with Wu-Tang at Hammerstein Ballroom, literally fugitive and featured artist at the same time. He'd been shot in the stomach by police in 1994 during an alleged robbery that was later dismissed. His verses? Slurred, offbeat, unpredictable, often ignoring rhymes entirely. He demanded 10 grand in cash to rap on Mariah Carey's remix, fell asleep, and then freestyled nonsense into a hit. He got arrested more than 12 times in 1 year. He signed with Rockefeller while in jail. Dame Dash brought the contract to his cell. Kool Keith, born in 1963, he's dropped over 50 albums and created at least 58 alter egos, including Dr. Octagon, Black Elvis, and something called Exatron Geiger, Counter 1 Gamma Plus Sequencer. His Dr. Octagonacologist album introduced a time-traveling alien gynecologist from Jupiter who treats chimpanzee acne and performs moose bump surgery. Yes, really. He debuted with Ultramagnetic MCs in 1988, dropping pseudoscience bars like using frequencies and data that sounded like quantum physics in rhyme form. He once mailed random tracks like Dr. Octagon to DJs just to build hype with zero marketing. In 1999, he told fans to spam his label's inbox to promote Black Elvis Lost in Space. His album Style is labeled, full of Eurolania references and perverted brags. As Dr. Doom, he murdered Dr. Octagon on track 1 of First Come, First Served, only to revive him years later on Moose Bumps and Space Gore-Tex. He once said he doesn't feel human anymore. His stage look includes a giant Elvis wig and glam space gear. He switched voices mid-interview, danced without explanation, and helped invent horrorcore while denying rap convention entirely. Young Gravy, he built his entire rap persona on vintage funk samples and dad jokes, blending 50s diner vibes with trap beats and bars about moms, saxophones, and biscuits. He's got a marketing degree from the University of Wisconsin and quit a tech sales job to rap full-time after blowing up on SoundCloud. He's turned Mr. Sandman, Careless Whisper, and even Never Gonna Give You Up into trap anthems, keeping their cheesy charm fully intact. He calls his style ironic trap and elevated cringe, aiming for a blend of Soulja Boy, Frank Sinatra, and Action Bronson. He legally performs as Young Gravy, inspired by comfort food and the way gravy sounds. He's also gone by Mr. Buttersworth. At live shows, he's kissed so many moms that some venues banned him from entering the crowd. He once performed with Martha Stewart at the VMAs and said she's his ideal woman, claimed they even got lunch afterward. His songs with BB&O Dokes include tracks like Shining on My Ex, which starts with a sax riff and a Pedialyte joke. He hosts thrift store meetups, where fans dress like Midwestern uncles. His merch, mustaches, robes, and biscuit mix for the full Gravy Train experience. Slim Jesus dropped Drill Time on SoundCloud in 2015, then it hit streaming 2 years later. The kid was barely out of high school and rapping about guns, crime, and violence. But right at the top of the video, there's a disclaimer saying everything's fake. And he later admitted he wasn't about that life anyway. Turns out he's from Hamilton, Ohio. Not exactly drill capital. That only made people more irritated, yelling cultural appropriation and calling him out for being inauthentic. Before all that, he called himself Swag Jesus, but switched to Slim Jesus for shock value and internet attention. Pretty on brand. He found the beat for Drill Time on YouTube and just ran with it. No label, no budget, just raw DIY energy. His Twitter bio literally said young and ignorant, and he posted wild one-liners that only added to his meme status. Then came that Vlad TV interview where he admitted he wasn't in the streets. And just like that, his credibility vanished. Lil Bibby actually defended him, saying he just liked making music. Slim even turned down a potential deal from Bad Boy Records, saying it didn't feel right. And Reddit? Yeah, they just called him a walking meme. Reggie Snow. Reggie Snow's one of the only rappers born in Dublin, Ireland, who's gained international recognition, but you'd never guess it from the way he raps in a straight-up American accent. Before the music, he was chasing a whole different dream, playing semi-pro soccer and earning a scholarship to study film and play soccer in Georgia. But he dropped out and hit the booth. His breakout track, Dia Dweet, came out in 2011, named after an Irish greeting, already showing his knack for mixing Gaelic roots with American rap style. He first went by Lex Luthor, then claimed the name Reggie Snow came to him during a dream while high. His inspirations are all over the place. 3 Stacks, MF Doom, and even filmmaker Wes Anderson. He'll rap about Irish identity, Catholic guilt, and cartoons all in one verse like it's normal. His music videos, he's shown up in clown makeup, rabbit suits, and vintage clothes. He's worked with jazz legend Roy Ayers and indie singer Anna of the North. He records while eating cereal and watching nature documentaries. And if you ask him to explain a lyric, he'd rather you stay confused and make up your own meaning. Tiara Whack. At just 15, she went viral freestyling on a Philly sidewalk as Dizzle Diz. Her debut Whack World dropped in 2018 with 15 songs, all 1 minute long, each with its own video. She once said she likely has undiagnosed ADHD, and honestly, that tracks. Her style's all over the place in the best way. Before rap deals, she worked the door at a car wash, saving up to buy a laptop so she could start recording. One song, Mumbo Jumbo, came right after a dentist visit. She rapped through swollen cheeks and just kept the messy audio. She's got a severe insect allergy, which she turned into a joke in her Bugs Life video. For her 2024 album, Worldwide Whack, she built an alter ego inspired by a sad clown and Yoruba trickster myths. Interviews? Absolute chaos. She'll break into songs mid-sentence or threaten to lock her manager out. She grew up rhyming Dr. Seuss in school papers and loves Sesame Street. Her hashtag Whack History Month campaign dropped a new track every week. Beyonce called her silly and loved it. She even teamed up with Lego. Oh, and she starred in a horror mockumentary called Cypher. Whack is beyond unpredictable. Lil Ugly Maine. Travis Miller, a white artist from Richmond, Virginia, created Lil Ugly Maine as a parody of 90s Memphis horrorcore and somehow made it sound completely legit, but that's just the tip. He's dropped music under over a dozen fake names like Sean Kemp, Vodmerk, Bedwetter, and Dale Krugler, just to throw people off. In 2012, he released Mr. Thug Isolation, a solo project that blended chopped up Memphis beats, horrorcore weirdness, and wild dark humor. One song could reference Satanism, depression, and vintage muscle cars, all while sounding like a joke and a cry for help. He designs his own album art using grotesque collages and clunky Microsoft Paint vibes. Pure chaos. He's retired more than once, only to return with a new alias or totally different genre. At one point, he went full lo-fi, indie, and ambient, with projects that included field recordings and spoken word. He sold tapes with handwritten labels through random web stores. His Bedwetter project ditches parody for raw reflections on anxiety, depression, and isolation. He once avoided all interviews, saying Lil Ugly Maine wasn't meant to exist in public, and called fame worse than a record deal. Kid Boo, born in Jersey City on April 11th, 1988. He moved to South Florida with his twin brother and mom. He's of Sicilian and Puerto Rican descent, but it gets weird. Kid Boo claims he's a second-generation clone made by Clonaid and says he doesn't remember anything before 6 years ago because of brainwash. Before adopting the name Kid Boo, he went by Humongous the God and HXTXG, then rebranded himself after the chaotic Dragon Ball Z villain. In 2008, at 19, he pled guilty to child abuse without harm, obstruction, robbery, and mischief, getting 2 years probation. He dated Black China, and the two had a hotel altercation in Hawaii, but no one got arrested. He's also a Raelian, believing in alien creators and cloning, which fits right into his persona. His early mixtapes include Man vs. God and Kaneda, while albums like Blind for Love and Revenge of the Clones push the clone theme hard. Reddit users mock him constantly, calling him a fraud and accusing him of buying views. He gained attention through SoundCloud tracks like Double Up and Dead Roses, blending trap and emo rap. He's committed to chaos, on and off the mic. Babytron. This guy raps over beats that sound like someone lost control of YouTube, Harry Potter themes, ESPN intros, Star Wars clips, even Family Guy sound bites all jammed into one track. He'll drop hundreds of bars with 0 hooks, switch the beat 5 or 6 times mid-song, and never miss a step. Tracks like Prince of the Mitten and Emperor of the Universe are pure chaos. His voice stays deadpan while he spits anime references, scam tips, Pokemon lines, and wild Detroit slang all in the same breath. He's part of Shitty Boys, a group known for punchlines about fake crime and internet nonsense. Stuff like sold a Yeezy box with no shoes in it. In 2022, he dropped Megatron, Ben Reaper, 3 Old Testament, and New Testament, all in 1 year, all packed with beat switches and ridiculous punchline. He says he never writes, just freestyles with memory cues, stacking up 30 rhymes in a row. At the Double XL Freshman Cypher, he hijacked a basic beat and warped it mid-flow. Like it was made just for him, he'll rap about scamming lunch ladies or selling a PlayStation 2 that's really a rock. Fashion? Forget it, just thrifted tees and Pistons gear. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.